Alright, hey nightmares. Fucking lunging sucks. Also, I have Melody here.
Hello!
Like, world-renowned rapier fencer extraordinaire Melody. And it's really sweet to be able to have one of my dear friends in a dumb video. Because usually I just grab David or Woody or Rune and be like, wait, do a video! Lunging fucking sucks. Lunging sucks because of a particular trap. What occurs for a lot of people's idea of how to lunge well is that they steal ideas from like Olympic lifting and powerlifting and biomechanics at their strongest. The issue for this is that for most people in their lunges, unless they were already ready, they then spend a moment getting ready at the opportune time to have already started going. And then start going a moment late. And then they're like, I think I hate fencing. Why am I so slow? And then they try and do the lunge faster. And that was never going to make up for the fact that they were spending a whole action, a whole moment of their life to go, and now I lunge. And they've already been stabbed in the neck. It's, yeah. Do you remember the problem that you were talking about when you made me think about this recently?
Yeah, so it was like, I spend all this time drilling these clean lunges in different contexts, moving, etc. And then I get my actual fencing, it's like, I must lunge, but my weight's kind of weird, or maybe like my body position slightly off from like what I'm used to. It's just, I take a split second to ready, and then by the time I do that, it's gone. And it's like, oh, okay. This sucks.
Yeah, they've done a weird disengage at your leg already, and you're like, I hate you. Yeah. So the way that I've been teaching people to lunge in the last few months, which is flowered into my friends now being able to just and lunge into actions. So if you want to do the most biomechanically correct lunging action, which is triple extension of the leg, right? Which means that you're probably going to have feet both facing this way, and it's going to have something along the lines of a fucking squat action, and extension of the ankle, extension of the knee, extension of the hip. That's going to be your fastest extension to push you forwards. This already shits on a lot of lunging mechanics. But that is the strongest way for us to extend those joints, devoid of fencing. Cool. Now we're fencing. Now imagine you want to use that mechanic in your fencing. You're pretty much going to have to be ready like this at all times. And every time that you're not ready for one leg to be able to triple extend at an angle that pushes you forwards, not up and then down, you're going to go insane. You're going to spend all this time like, well, I can't move my feet, because if you catch me while I move my feet, I'm not going to be able to lunge until I move my foot into the right place. And then you take all these micro actions, and then you're scared to make adjustments, and it's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Massive detour. You know the trolley problem?
Yeah.
Pull the lever and one person dies. Or 4 people die. I don't know, I can't remember. It's pull the lever, one person dies. Don't touch the lever, 4 people die. But it's not your fault, because you didn't pull the lever. As an analogy, this is bullshit. To move said lever, the strongest possible way... Rune, give me that LARP sword. Why not? Here's lever. If I want to push it, I get behind it, and I push. If I want to pull it, I get behind it, and I pull it. Cool. That is the strongest way I could move it. The single weakest way I could move it is here's the lever, and I go, huh. And I just don't give a shit at that point. This is what your lunges should do. You should be able to not give a shit and just like, bleh, and be able to put yourself into position when you have to, not have a moment of like, oh, fuck. So, we're going to do this together first. To experience it, it will be dead straight legs first. Absolutely dead straight legs. I think Thibault is really based because he teaches you these actions at the start of his book, where it's like you're learning how to move with dead straight knees. That as a pedagogical tool is really cool because it teaches people getting into position better. I believe. You can feel the lifting and the falling phases. Now, you're going to lift a leg, and your goal is to just kind of step forwards where only the slight external rotation of the femur, the humerus of the leg, the femur, is caused by the glute, and it just pushes you forwards the same way as the lever getting wrenched in the dumbest way that you can muscle. Because you'll be like, oh, I'm kind of half ready. Boom! And just send your hips forwards. Cool. Brilliant. And let it roll through. Let it roll through. Like we're really getting to being able to move through things. Cool. And just do like another one. Boom. Turn around. Do it with the other side. We're going to be right leg back. Lifting the front leg. Push. But you notice how the leg isn't driving, but it is wrenching your hip structure forwards. Almost like a swing. Cool. Cool. Now that you've felt that, I am going to make you kind of have to move around a little. And whichever leg has the weight on it. When I first started doing Rapier, Woody Craig did the drill we're about to do with me, but without these caveats or without these like edits. And the idea of it is you don't know when the tempo is going to go. So wherever you're at, whichever leg has the weight on it must stay. So you don't know if you're going to passing step or a crescimento. Fucking a crescimento or a crescere. I don't know. David said that word once. I'm like, I've never heard that before, and I think I just blazed past it in any book that says it because I didn't care. Doesn't matter. But like these kinds of lunges, or the opposite. So firstly, just like move around, boom, and keep your legs straight for now, so that you must pick when you step into the space. And now, as we move around, whenever my arm kind of aggressively leaves in like a circular action or a pullback, whatever, you're going to just, I must fall into that space, and whichever leg had all the weight on it stays. If you were just about to land, you're allowed to land and pop, but you can't go, right? You can't add like an extra action to it.
Yeah.
It's only if it's going to be like, oh, you didn't have a choice. But sometimes you will just be like nearly hitting the ground and they're like, whoa, I guess I'm going. Those are fun lunges. So let's move around. Boom. I'm just going to move this stupid stick. But, and then, boom. See how there was a moment of like, oh, prep, pop? Just, oh, I guess I'm going. There's going to be surprise every time. Let yourself be surprised. That's not a negative thing. Lovely. Boom. Good. See how that fell into the space that I created? Good. That was a beautiful little void. That was sick. Boom. Good. Boom. And passing steps really flow when you start being really front weighted, hey? Hey, you look like Olive there. It's really sweet. Good, yeah, and that one was a bit like, fuck, I must, hey. Good.
I don't know why I did that.
No, that was sick. You ducked underneath my little like attempt to control and would have hit the flank shot. Or at least pestered my forearm or scared the shit out of me. That was a coherent fencing action. You're doing cool coherent fencing actions by accident. Now get into more your fencing position and let your legs bend. Boom. Cool. Boom. Cool. And now you're going to lunge in such a way that most of the time you should be able to go crack, and then the next leg can step in and you could be able to put your arm on my elbow. You don't need to fucking arm bar me, but you should be able to go pop and just kind of walk it in. There's a bit of timidity because you're not used to actually walking into that space.
Yeah.
You're not in trouble. Huh? Good. Let your second step be right next to me. You're allowed in my personal space. It'll scare the shit out of me. Good. Whoop. Good. Right? That would have been here. You would have hit that flank shot and then you would have stopped the afterblow real comfortably. Good. Cool. How is that feeling?
It makes more sense now.
Yeah. How is that different to what you were doing?
I'm not thinking so much about consciously driving. It just happens.
Just happens. Yeah, right? How is your hip structure feeling as you're doing the lunges? Any soreness? Any like...
No, it
cool.
feels different than normal, but I don't know how. Something's different.
So a thing that happens for a lot of people's lunges, just as an experience, is they go, yes, I want to be over there, so I put my foot over there. And then this happens. And watch how my body doesn't really get that far forwards. If we look at that line, my foot gets to here. I'm doing quite a long lunge. Boom, boom. Like that's quite a max length lunge. You can see in relation to that line there, I'm getting to the exact same spot every time. But when I just let my rear leg push my hips in.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'll get a drag, but also notice that my shoulders and my torso and even my heel just went further.
Kind of looks like wrestling.
Say again?
Kind of looks like wrestling, like a penetration step almost. Yeah, it looks kind of similar.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Like, because they need to cross distance through people's hand actions and through their body actions and in those tempos. So similar. If there's too much of a difference between your fencing and good wrestling, well, then you're doing fencing, not good fencing. So let's just feel that for a moment and then we'll go back to the previous drill. So let the rear leg not shove you, but it's like, oh, my hips need to come forwards by whatever action facilitates it, even if it is biomechanically shitful. It'll make your rotator cuff in your hip have to be stronger eventually, which is great. So here, boom. Try and get your hips past that line and let yourself drag through there. The more you let your rear foot drag, the less there is any pressure on the rear leg, the less likely for knee injury. If you stall out and you've got like this or this, you're just gonna stall out and you're gonna fall between your feet and that's gonna really hurt things. But like, whee! You just get into one-legged squat territory at that point. Nice. And that like, you can feel like you kind of go further than you mean to. You're like, oh.
I was like, oh, I'm starting to fall a little.
There's a funny 2 photos of Woody Craig and I at an Ides of March a few years ago where we've both done the same lunge. The rear foot is just barely off the ground like this, not touching the ground. The front foot is like this, not touching the ground, as we're like, because we didn't know when we wanted to land, but the leg kept extending till we were airborne. It's like, I guess I'm going! And we both did it, and it was like, oh, Someone got the same photo twice. So do this a couple more times, Bob. And you should be able to feel it that if you roll front weighted, the same thing can happen. So you'd be like, oh, I'm now so front weighted, I must step all the way through. Good. You had that preparatory moment of like, oh, I don't know if I wanted to go, but then you had to passing step or it was never going to make it. Hey. Good. That one had a moment, didn't it? And you could feel that. It's like, oh no, I'm already coming back in. Oh, try and time it with my lift.
The lift?
You can start like, you can be like here, get 10% into it, realize that you've missed it and kind of like, fuck this, and move on with your life. So if you miss these, you're not in trouble.
Okay.
They're just windows whether you take them or not. That was cool. You started 5% of a lunge and was like, maybe I actually don't want that one today. And that one was easier to pick then, hey? We'll do 5 or so more, boom. Good. Oh, good. You picked it on my prep. You're like, prep, lol. Good. Good, good, good. And that follow through is coming really intuitively. You're allowed to get up into my space because it will keep you safer. The closer you are to me, the more you can end up stopping this arm because this works the same as stopping someone strong. I'm not going smash off that, hey. No chance in hell. Boom. Good. Boom. Nice. Just a slick fucking void thrust. All right. What did you feel?
It feels easier. Like, it just feels so much more like when I drill lunges solo, it feels like almost like a fitness exercise, whereas this feels kind of like almost like playful. Yeah. Like it's like, oh, I'm just doing the thing because it's like right and fun and it just flows. It's kind of hard to describe. I don't know.
No, yeah, say it wrong is good because then you'll say it right later and it's funnier. Hopefully you'll be able to look over this and be like, God damn it, I wish I worded that better.
Definitely. The amount of times I go back and I'm like, oh.
So hopefully this helps other people with their lunges. Not being able to lunge in tempo makes you feel bad at fencing. And it makes you think you need to be faster, which then you're actually going to bunker down harder, be more timid, more jumpy, and your commitment will skyrocket. And then you're like, fuck, I need to go faster. And it's like, I wonder if I can poke the light switch. Woo! And you just fucking dodge the shit out of it. Like, that was the fastest thing I've ever dodged. But it had such a charge up that you still dodge it. I have a distinct memory of Dan Pope fucking just free fencing here. He like disengaged sharp, open eyes, went, nah, fuck it, I can zing mosh. And I had like I've lifted my foot and like, yeah, okay, disengage. Jesus Christ, this is the fastest man in the world right now. As I just barely slotted the sword in. And like my heart was racing from one action. It was just so fast. But it was because he heavily prepped on the first one. Like, zit, and that was the only reason I had time. If he came at it like this, I would have been, he would have put the biggest set in that sword in my neck. So fast. Woo! Yeah, hopefully that helps everyone. a bit anecdotal, a bit of like just experiencing someone, practicing it, learning it. Thank you to everyone who's been putting money towards my Patreon. It makes me want to cry that people want to do that. That helps me so fucking much. And I'm gonna keep trying to make fucking videos for you. Tell me what you want to practice and what you're struggling with. This kind of troubleshooting is really fun to me. It's really special to me. Also, details will be released soonish. I've just been a bit slow on organizing it. I'll be teaching in Toronto in July, and I think end of July, like last week of July, I'll be teaching in Toronto at a friend's school, and then I'll be teaching in Montreal the next week with David Gresham. Keep an eye out for details for that if you want to come fucking train in person. I also do privates if you need that, but I'd rather you come just do the fucking class. Thank you all so much.